Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a Marksman Carbine build for the Tactical class in Space Marine 2 Patch 13. Now, back in Patch 12, the Marksman Carbine Ammo Reserve option got a base damage buff. The headshot damage here is almost identical to the ×2 headshot version, and the big upside on this one is that you have like double the magazine capacity and way more ammo in your reserve, and because of that, you can actually skip over perks here like Emperor's Vengeance and take stuff like Steady Aim or Emperor's Judgment instead, because the ammo economy on this weapon really is just that strong. Now, for the perk tree here, I do start off with the perk here, Headhunter first. Headshots deal 10% more damage. Moving here into the perk, Rapid Health. When your health's below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores health by 10%. Now, you might think, like, oh, you'll never trigger this on a Marksman Carbine, but the Marksman Carbine is actually pretty strong for Horde Clear at times with the hip fire, so you do actually trigger Rapid Health pretty regularly, especially against things like Hormagaunts and even Zangors, so a really strong option for sure. Next perk here is Home Precision. Equipped weapons maximum spread, it decreases by 50% when firing without aiming. Now, this is very strong on both the automatic version and the Marksman Carbine, because in a lot of cases, especially with the Argent Edge, you will just be hip firing Majoris in the face from like point blank, so really powerful for your build here. Next perk here is Divine Might for a 10% damage increase. Then I pick up Headhunter and Headhunter again for a 20% headshot damage buff, moving down to the perk Extended Magazine and the perk Divine Might. Now, you have a couple options here. You could go all the way down the bottom tree for like increased capacity, the perk here Magazine Restoration and Divine Might for a 10% damage buff, or you can do what I did where I picked up the perk here Cleaving Fire into Adamant Hunter, Perpetual Precision, and the final perk here Recoupment. I much prefer a recoupment here on this build because having more armor restore built into the headshots on this weapon is incredibly strong for your build, because most of the time when you're shooting an enemy like Tyranid Devourer or something, they're going to be chip damaging you from far away, and like half the time after you blow apart their brain, their like volley will still be coming at you from like they fired like right before they died, and this will give you armor back on that kill and save you a ton of HP, and just prevents a ton of HP loss in general and just gives you a ton of utility in the game. So really strong perk, and I pretty much always pick this one up. But if you want like pure damage to maximize your potential, you can go down here for Divine Might. But I'll be real, this weapon is so ammo efficient, you don't even need perks here like increased capacity, because the base ammo reserve is just that strong, especially with the prestige perk option we have down here, Skilled Supplier. So if you want to do that, you can. I just prefer this one. Now for the secondary, I do take the Firepower Bolt Pistol because, number one, I'm pretty Raven Guard pilled recently, so I've been taking the Raven Guard skin on this, and also the Firepower Bolt Pistol has pretty high gun strike damage in the game, and even though we are taking Balanced Distribution for a 15% loss on our secondary for 15% more damage on our primary, this weapon still hits pretty hard, and the gun strike damage is unaffected, so pretty good option overall. It's also very ammo efficient. Now for the perk tree here, I do start off with the perk here, Perpetual Precision first, moving here to the perk Headhunter for 10% more damage, and then we pick up the perk Gunstrike Reload, which is very strong with our Argent Edge here for parrying and gun strikes. And next perk here is, of course, increased capacity, Headhunter into the perk here, Elite Hunter. After killing a Majoris or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 50% more damage for 10 seconds. Now, you can trigger this perk off a melee execute, not just a melee kill, but you do have to have your secondary equipped, and if you swap off of this for any reason, you will lose the effect while it's active. Now, this isn't like the strongest perk ever on this build, only because I am taking Emperor's Judgment, which means we do have to choose between our primary reload or having our secondary trigger Elite Hunter, but for the most part, it still comes up occasionally, and it's really not too bad. Next perk here is Headhunter down here into Extended Magazine, and the final perk is Divine Might for a 10% buff, and that's pretty much all there is for the Raven Guard pistol. Now for the melee weapon selection, we are taking the best fencing weapon in all of Space Marine 2, which is the Argent Edge. Now, patch 13, it did fix up the description of the heroic Scathing Retort perk here, which now says the riposte window is shorter, but each perfect parry damages and staggers the enemy. So this weapon will perfect parry gun strike opportunity, stagger an enemy on every single parry no matter what, which is incredibly helpful in this game against Lictors, Raveners, and melee Terminators, and really helps you prevent getting stun locks. So super strong weapon. Like, honestly, once you equip the Argent Edge, you're like, holy shit, this is like the peak potential of a fencing weapon in Space Marine 2. So for that reason, we're taking it on this build because we're trying to be safe, and we also have perks here like Relentless Pursuit that will give us a 25% range damage buff after a gun strike, so getting more gun strikes off our melee weapon here, super useful for that. Now, for the perk tree here, I do build down the top tree this time instead. The thing about the Argent Edge is that the speed here is not that high at all, so you really don't get as many triggers off of things like kinetic energy for consecutive heavy attacks as you would, say, from like a Power Gladius. And for that reason, I do prefer like Tide of Battle and Sharp Impact and stuff like that. Or Tide of Battle's over here, but like Sharp Impact up here for more AoE on those Skull Crushers, which are your heavy attacks instead. Next perk here, Perpetual Strength, over here into the perk Combined Onslaught. Then I pick up the perk here, Tide of Battle, Shoulder Bash, Reeling Blow, and Shadow Stab. And the final perk here is Terminus Slayer for 20% more damage against Terminus level enemies. Now, for our perk tree, I do take the perk here, Balance Distribution first. Your primary weapon deals 15% more damage, but your secondary weapon deals 15% less damage. Losing damage on your secondary does kind of suck, but the 15% buff here is definitely worth it in my opinion. Though if you want to skip over this for like Plasma, you could take like a Plasma Pistol instead for Plasma Boost, or you could also take Crack and Penetrator rounds, which is actually still pretty strong on a Marksman Carbine. Next perk here is Relentless Pursuit. After a gun strike, range damage increases by 25% for 10 seconds. This is super easy to trigger all the time, and like usually you will trigger this perk while they're in your face because you have to gun strike them in your face, and when that happens you get this 25% buff and you just hip fire them and you obliterate their head in like 2 or 3 shots. So a really good combo on this. Though if you want like more safety in the melee on top of Argent Edge, you could take Heightened Vigor if like that's something better for you. Next perk here is Emperor's Judgment. After a finisher, the equipped ranged weapon reloads automatically, and your ranged weapons deal 20% more damage for 10 seconds. Now the buff here is super nice for damage, but also we do skip over the perk here, Gunstrike Reload, so having another reload option, this does keep your weapon topped off pretty much all the time. This also triggers on Gunstrike executes, not just like a standard execute in melee as well, so really strong for that. Next perk here is Aligned Aim. Range damage increases by 15% for all team members. We are going for all range damage here, and I know that like Secure Stockpile and Transhuman Physiology are very strong perks. Like Secure Stockpile especially is the better perk option here, but Aligned Aim is super fun, and like with any Bolter and Space Marine 2, I just much prefer this team perk, so for that reason, I'm picking it up today. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning Extremist or Terminus level enemy restores Auspex scans charged by 50%. This perk is by far the best in this column. I mean, priority targeting is not terrible. This one's just better because usually you want your Auspex against like a Terminus and Extremis anyways, and the base cooldown of an Auspex scan is like 90 seconds, so shaving off half of that in a boss fight is incredible for you. A really, really good perk effect, so I pretty much always pick this up. The next 2 perks I take are Precise Calibration and Concentrated Fire, because these combine together to give your Auspex scan like a total bonus of 300% damage increase. That is nuts for like any boss nuking build ever, and that's pretty much like the, you know, this is the quintessential Auspex combo for boss nuking for you and your teammates, so I definitely picked this one up. Just be aware of that Concentrated Fire, they will lose some mark when they leave the scanned area, so like if you don't know the movesets of the enemy, you have to be like a little more careful with that, but definitely worth picking up. Final perk here is Radiant Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant AoE damage in a 10-meter radius. The cooldown is 90 seconds. This perk is cracked. This perk will one-shot Majoris in a 10-meter radius. A 90-second cooldown feels like nothing, because like even in a shorter match, it's like a 30-minute match where this is almost always used off cooldown, and because of that, it will save your life over and over throughout your game. I honestly can't even tell you how many times that this perk has just like completely bailed me out of a solo boss fight, because it is just that strong, and the option to get like multiple executes is incredible. And usually when you like one-shot a Majora's pack in this game, you'll have enough time to just like obliterate 3 of them and execute stance with headshots on your gun, and then like execute the last one for armor. So a really good perk here. Now for the prestige perk options, it is pretty straightforward. You take Acuity. Okay, you just take this perk because we are a headshot build, and then you move here into the perk Skilled Supplier for more ammo, and we finish off Resilience for more sim HP, and the final perk here is Fortitude for health increase of 15%, because health increases on tactical especially will just save your life, and this perk is god tier. And that's pretty much all there is for the Marksman Carbine build here, guys. Marksman Carbine is really strong right now. The main downside of this gun is that you will get carpal tunnel eventually, which does kind of suck, but like if you can kind of, you know, struggle through that, you will be okay, and this weapon is incredibly potent. And honestly, the headshot multiplier one needs a buff right now, because this one is like kind of power crept it entirely. But that is pretty much all I have to say in this one, guys. Hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, thanks for watching, take it easy, bye. We are indeed ridiculous. You guys have been ridiculously supportive. You guys have been life-changingly supportive, in fact. Oh my god, there's so many guys in here. Like, yeah. Here, if I can kill you. Like, why did you think it was a good idea? We go to Miva's Roach Trader's team to see her fur the maggots to discuss her relationship. I'm still traumatized. I don't actually know what she gets up to on her streams. All I know is she was very helpful when I was dying during the last props campaign, so. I'm sorry if your eyes were profaned. Oh god. Now, Pank and I have been playing Halo occasionally, so I might stream that. Who knows? We have been playing Halo Reach and Halo 3 and Halo ODST Firefight and getting mopped, but you know, it'd be... Is like block power acts overall better than the heroic one? They're both really good. I'd say they're like the block one, the standard one is probably a bit better. It's also a bit more practical and requires less input from the player. But they're both good. Warhammer is a Halo. It's called we call it a dead franchise. Okay, we're gonna get back here. Nothing over there. Also, I think with the Prime. FD, what's the best and most fun class for you without perks, level 1 and base weapons? I wouldn't play any game. I wouldn't like. I don't enjoy any class in this game without perks. I mean, they're all pretty boring as fuck. I don't think I would ever do that. I think with base weapons and no perks, your class is like barely even just the base game mechanics at that point.
Our way is clear.
This base sounding torture you from Helldivers with the Warhammer Warbond? No way. It's a waste of time. How do I get you to carry me on a hard stratagem? Well, you see, there's actually an ancient ritual to achieve this, and it's quite complicated, actually. First, you have to ask me and say please, and then we might do it. FG, when do you think Saber will drop the Year 3 roadmap? August. But you have to pick one as best. I mean, I think all the classes are like hilariously boring. I don't even know if I could pick one. At level 1 with no perks and base weapons, you're not even like really playing a class at that point. They're all equally boring. Everyone happy 4th? What's up, Grunt?
Lictor could not vanish from
Now we do a lot of damage to this thing.
tyrannies have no rhyme for tactics.
Kind of funny how much they broke this variant of the Carbine.
Readying next volley. Fester and rot. Xenos abomination. Changing magazine. Enhanced visuals incoming. Impressive fencing, brothers.
A tragic crack.
Alien fireball eliminated. Buckle terrain. Ravana.
Good morning, FCG happy 4th. What's up, Murdoch?
Ravana destroyed.
Oh my god.
The Codex demands it.
Do you think Saber will allow us to equip the 3rd war gear for the driftiest rift combo ever? That will probably come eventually, I imagine. If they do routinely change around the war gear.
Readying next volley.
Or I should say the customization in the game usually gets some overhauls to existing stuff, so I don't really see why the war gear update be any different. Space Marine 2 is like genuinely one of the most consumer-friendly games out there at the moment, which is why I often find some of like the controversies around like the DLCs a little hilarious, because like the DLCs in this game are like $5 tops. The only one that was egregious was the voice pack DLC, but that one got turned into a free DLC pack, so. That's a giant chat box on stream, sure it is. Sure is.
Executing countermeasures.
I'll change it around later, but
It will not be long now until we are in the fortress, brothers.
okay. That's one boss done already.
We cannot backtrack.
Part of the reason the DLC is so cheap is devs are in Russia and don't need to be paid much. I don't think that is. I don't think that is the reason the DLCs are cheap. Corporate greed does not stop at borders. Okay,
Spread out. We activate these consoles and we gain
it's just that
access
they're a
to
pretty
the
consumer-friendly company.
Neutralize the Xenos behemoth. The army. Synaptic servants slaughtered. Changing magazine.
Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
The YouTube unks and the Twitch kids enjoy FTG together. You know, I've noticed over time, versus when I started content for this game, that more and more of the audience has moved over to Twitch for
Inserting
live
fresh
stuff
magazine.
than it was before. Hello. So, you know, I recently found out that my old friend from high school has an incredibly successful YouTube channel except it's about AI. It's an AI dog, and like honestly, I think he's just ruining the whole art form.
Readying next volley. Watch out for Ravener tunnels. Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
What's the name of the channel, the AI dog? I'm not gonna answer that. That'd be doxing myself.
Only after we activate the consoles can we enter the fortress, brothers.
Hit card there, the tier 1.
Activating all strengths advantage.
Well, you know, you're some of your biographical details. Yeah, 'cause some of you are fucking weird. First off into the prime. Did you say some of my biographical details, or do you mean some of my geographical details?
We activate the consoles can we enter
I mean, that's only notable info to somebody who's kind of a freak, you know?
Festus Xenoscum on scope. Rearming.
I'm sure you could find it if you looked it up. Oh no, dude, that's one of the most prolific genres of all of YouTube right now. Is people just making AI slop them. It's really a tragedy.
Force engaged. Readying. Only after we activate
Biographical
the consoles
details,
can we
like
enter
you
the
are
fortress,
4'11".
brothers.
Yes, you're definitely 4'11". True. Biographical make it sound like you have a sample of FTG's DNA. I don't know, dude. Stonian's pretty fucking weird when it comes to this shit, so maybe he does. You're running out of ammo, no for vengeance on this build. You only need it on this build. Marksman Carbine's already pretty good.
Only twisting Xenos carapaces remain.
We already know that FTG lives in the Dreadnought sarcophagus, awakened from stasis, and learning to turn Miller chassis every morning. I don't understand, dude.
Changing magazine.
How can I say that I'm weird? I'm like the most normal chatter, dude. Yeah, totally. You don't just mention where I live like all the fucking time, dude. Like, what are we talking about? Read your chat back and then tell me it's not at all slightly odd. How can you say, like, what do you call it? Yes, join the community Discord, guys, by the way. Join the AI Slop on YouTube in this economy. I'm pretty sure his channel got hit with a wave of demonetization. Rightfully so, dude, because AI is the abominable intelligence. Your stance on your friend begs the question, what's your opinion on Neurosama if you are familiar? Okay, so, like, I'm happy for my friend because now he's just a multimillionaire, but I'm also, like, surely we can do more than AI dog content, right? FCG is from Cadia, dude. How do you know? The Fortress World of Cadia. Kid card, I think it's 1,000 bits. Please, brother, the Emperor beseeches thy help on my hard stratagem. I mean, I would have done it for a please, but thank you for the bits. Which hard stratagem do you need help with?
Inserting fresh magazine. Only after we activate.
God, this thing slaps. The weekly one, please. We can definitely do that. But no, sodium. We're jesting. We are in good fun as always. Where's the Oh, Sunny, hey with the Prime. Hello, friends. What is up? What's up, Sunny?
Tyranny pollution ensnares the system. This is but the outcome. We need to find and remove the spores.
Oh, this gun kind of just slaps, so. Up launch box. Software devs have managed to undo decades of order of magnitude performance increases for the hardware industry. It is frankly impressive, dude. There are many impressive things. Some of them are impressive for going backwards. Huh? FTG's name and appearance are unknown. Actually, my name is like the easiest thing ever to find. But, I'm actually shocked that nobody's ever called me by it. In fact, I'm more shocked that people have called me completely different names randomly. What do you call it? Even though his voice sounded like that of a handsome white supremacist. Okay. Putera Mog's people. I was almost sure I'd even seen what he looked like. That's certainly a sentence you just put in my chat. The only thing we're supremacists in is a human supremacy. That's the Xenos. How's it going, Daniel? See, there it is. People just giving me new names. When in doubt, just rush to the execute through the actual Spore Mine Apocalypse. FTG is the anti-Jake Sully supremacist, that's true. Can a real Marine fight like this too? No, they'd be dead. Look at the damage this class does these days. Can we expect the OnlyFans reveal? It's tempting. Bro's 50-50 in the Spore Mines, that's true. He's using the Spore Mine mixed up on me. See, on this build, you don't even need Emperor's Vengeance. You just take Emperor's Judgment for free reloads and bonus damage, because you are that guy. Only Helen Marine plot armor is Kato. I think about a few others.
Grabbing this gear.
I guess we'll take that. I mean, what could possibly be here? Probably ammo. Probably the most disappointing box of all time with ammo.
Take all you can carry.
Time to sell pinups for the Sister of Battle, dude. Don't even joke about that, okay? You know how many OnlyFans people like actually just do Sister of Battle shit? Not even a joke. It's a real phenomena. FCG walks through Warhammer Skulls unironically as a guardsman, and nobody notices. I actually have a pretty distinct voice. If I do go into like a, I feel like it'd be pretty easy to tell if it's me. You heard me talk. That's assuming that I would have any fans at any convention ever. Maybe one. In fact, the only real life encounter I've had with a fan of mine was my one of my best friends' brother-in-law. His brother-in-law watches my content, and we were all hanging out at dinner one time, and he was like, "Are you first tour guardsman?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Definitely not a Korean convention. Yeah, the Korean subreddit hates me. True.
That is our way to the battle, man.
Brawling House, I think of the Prime. I don't want much in the World FTG is for my normal Siege account the first time for the weekly, dude. I mean, honestly, you're asking for too much already.
They are amassing at the fortress.
Then wear a Death Corps mask? I don't think I'll do that. Death Corps, a Kriegsman mask? I'm not so sure about that. Yo, how do you stream on YouTube Sony PS5 games? Bro, I got no clue. I've never streamed on a console in my life.
Precisely what we needed.
First time I see a streamer for Warhammer. Game shocking doesn't actually have that many. I think creators. Hello there, what's up, Taboo?
The defensive cannons will terminate it. No approach. Strike it down with haste. Executing countermeasures.
Warhammer is actually quite niche, all things considered. Definitely less niche now than it used to be. I kind of moved him out there to do that video. It's definitely niche, but it's a pretty big niche. It's not as big as, say, like, you know, Star Wars or arguably Halo. I think Halo is about the same size as Warhammer.
Tyrannies have no mind for tactics. Rearming.
Think about being a 40K fan pre-YouTube. Pre-YouTube, I don't even know what that was like. Actually, I vaguely remember times like that in human history.
That foe before it calls for reinforcements. Inserting fresh magazine. Shock grenade. Their numbers are no match for our training. Readying next volley.
You don't have to be ashamed you like Warhammer as celebs like it now. Well, dude, I'll show you how ashamed I can actually be. You underestimate my shame.
We see the console. Soon we will use this fortress's weapons on the Tyranids.
Tactical's kind of just that guy, huh? That does a lot of flipping damage.
After the servo skull connects to the console, we will eliminate the Xenos.
Yes, man, Halo is over. Whoa, Halo's not over, dude. Combat Evolved remake is coming out, and Pank and I will be playing that game. It's coming, it's coming.
Keep at it, brothers. Show the Tyranids.
You want to play Total War 40k so bad? Don't we all? That game might actually pull me away from this one, depending.
Do not let its waste poison you.
Perhaps they seek to choke our rivers with their dead. Changing magazine.
Waiting for fire command. Aim and fire with sidearm when ready, Master.
Activating war gear. Synapse.
You ever thought about doing a cooking stream? I'm cooking right now, dude. I'm cooking these Tyranids. What do you mean?
Back away from its toxic expulsions.
Dignity of love.
Awaiting target. Aim and fire with the sidearm to commence attack.
Ravener destroyed.
Why'd it have to be triple Raveners, though? Like, what'd I do to deserve that?
The Tyranid
Last cannons ready. Establish a sidearm to initiate
away
offensive
from its
protocol.
filth, brothers. Press the attack. Do not let them take cover.
But Bricky told me to play Mass Effect again. I mean, you probably should.
Back away from its toxic
Bricky has pretty good
expulsions.
opinions on games,
Keep at it, brothers.
at least in my opinion.
Show the Tyranids no mercy.
Maybe the 100 bits, Goldman, that you say, she Halo on my reach till I Noble 6. I don't know what that's supposed to insinuate, but yeah, dude. I hope she keeps haloing on your reach.
Changing magazine.
The auxiliary generators.
I just did a run where the game wasn't allowing me to get gun strikes using Argent Edge. I think it'd be a little buggy sometimes.
The Tyranid aims for us. Rouse the last cannons and keep fighting, brothers.
Anytime you're playing the Headshot Prestige perk, you always play Headshot Prestige perk with Vulture weapons. Unless you're using the grenade launcher in Siege. Was good first tour, Chad, man. Whoa. I would never.
We must replenish the last cannons so we can eliminate these Tyranids. Take cover, brothers.
Readying next volley.
I guess we'll grab the ammo box. I think it's so fucking ammo efficient. They are so polite to limit the amount of enemies that engage the player. I mean, in that case, most of them were engaging us.
Finished here.
It's the second remake, Remakeception. Yeah, the Combat Evolved remake. This one's the better one though because it's 10 years after the last one.
Re-establish service call and system communication.
So surely it'll be good this time.
The tyranny aims for us.
Guys, the best Halo game in 10 years will be the Halo game we already had
Do
remade.
not let its waste poison you.
Will be the first Halo game again.
Press the attack. Do not let them recover, brothers.
Alright, I'm just gonna troll by this shit.
Tries to ambush us.
Keep at it, brothers. Show take cover, brothers. Away from his filth, brothers.
Oh my god, there's so many. Triple lictors, log outs of my... Triple lictors on a Saturday?
Inserting fresh magazine. Our adversaries are keen to lose it. Additional enemy forces are incoming. Do not get flanked.
All specs ready. Aim with sidearm to complete attack.
The tyranny aims for us. Back away from its toxic expulsions.
This is quite a little tickle, ain't it? If only I had more than my pistol right now.
The lictor stood no chance. Hostile backup on the way.
Searching for target. Minister. Fire with your sidearm to commence target lock.
Take cover, brothers. Away from his filth, brothers.
We'll get there when we get there, guys. We need to do difficulty in Space Marine 2. I think 6 difficulties in a game with modifiers are also effectively a 7th difficulty is definitely enough. Absolute difficulty is already like a little excessive in terms of like the amount of difficulties we have in game. I don't know if we ever needed 6. You know, I like how there was a point in time when Saber said the difficulty of the game was no longer able to be changed by adding in enemies, but then they added a bunch of modifiers to add in enemies, so apparently that was still an option. Why stop at 6 when you can have 7, dude? Well, actually there are 7, Tank, and it is more like a 6-7 kind of thing, so you ain't wrong. I'm not the laser this guy, dude. Once they are done lasering me. May your kind perish in hellfire and such. I'm gonna high underneath this bridge. This is the bitch bridge, that's what I call it, as of right now. Okay, he's moving out. He knows the hive mind. He's playing 5v chess.
Take cover, brothers.
Awaiting target. Aim and fire with a sidearm to
Away
commence
from his filth, brothers. Keep going. We can finish the tyranny. Rouse the last cannons and keep fighting, brothers.
Oh, the next 2 operation bosses aren't like the Bio Titan? Well, they haven't been so far, so I doubt they would be again. I think they knew they fucked up on this one. You gotta also remember, this was a year 1 boss, so they probably just didn't put as many resources into making a proper boss fight.
The auxiliary generators give us take cover, brothers.
Oh god.
Replenish the last cannon so we can eliminate these Tyranids.
Biotitan isn't that bad. I mean, another Hive Tyrant-like boss. You might get that next year.
Tyranids for us.
You might. Custom stratagems do help in making the game harder or easier. Yeah, they are the 7th difficulty.
Charge restored. Resume the bombardment.
I mean, right now we're just playing with Coordinated Calls, Tsunami, and Summoner. But this may have been a bit ambitious against the Hierophant Biotitan because this guy is obnoxious as shit. When you have like a bajillion guys around him. There we go. Finally. It's over, chat. We did it.
The Tyranid Titan is defeated.
The crisis is
Target the
over.
towers, Captain.
Take the shot on those damn towers and unleash.
Standing by for the carry. Copy that. Red 1 standing by. Is a Heroic Plasma still good for Tech Marine? Heroic Plasma Pistol is good for any class that needs like that has a primary already. It's not even that bad in Bulwark. It's just like you're not going to have an easy time getting your contested health back. It's also pretty easy to fuck up the full charge.